What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Miami, season 6, episode 7. Now, listen, I heard some very disturbing news today. I heard that, even though this review is late, but I heard that the ratings are low for the Real Housewives of Miami. Listen, y'all need to stop sleeping on Miami. Miami is great. It is really great. I don't know why it's not catching on. I don't know why people aren't picking it up, but it is so good. Anyway, my review's late because, I've been doing a lot. You guys know I traveled last week and it's been a lot going on. But anyway, so the ladies are in Palm Beach. They are in Palm Beach and they wake up the first day and they decide to do a scavenger hunt. Now, normally these things, these games that these ladies like to play on these trips and when they get together, they don't usually end well, especially not on the Real Housewives of Miami with Marisol in the mix. But they actually had a fun time. They broke out into groups and they had to do a scavenger hunt where they had to take pictures of the things that they did. Now, I think this was a little product placement because they've used these like Polaroid cameras that Lisa so nicely explained how to use and everything, and I was like, I think they might have got paid for that product placement, but it doesn't matter. It was a fun time. It was hilarious because they had to find a feminine hygiene product, and baby, when they went in Kiki's suitcase, baby, they found her dildo. Okay, listen, be careful when you go snooping through people's stuff. You never know what you gonna find. I wasn't really concerned about the fact that Kiki had bought her a little bit of a little bob with her. For those who don't know what a bob is, that's a battery operated boyfriend. I wasn't so much worried about that as much as I was worried about the fact that she's sharing a room. Anyway, not my business. So then after the scavenger hunt, Marisol and Dr. Nicole have a conversation. And I was here for this conversation because we know that Marisol gave Dr. Nicole hell. Marisol gave Dr. Nicole hell, especially that first season. Last season, Dr. Nicole sort of had, she sort of was ready. But that first season, I mean, she didn't see it coming. And Marisol really gave her a lot. She gave her a lot. And she did apologize for that. And she basically said, listen, all of us have been friends for a long time. We had established relationships. We all knew each other. We know you. And I didn't know about you. And so, yeah, I hazed you up a little bit. I kind of gave you a hard time. And for that, I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. And, Dr. Nicole, she was cool about it. Marisol was like, well, if you want to be, you can be mean to me in return. And Nicole was like, why would I do that? She said, I've been through way too much, therapy and everything I went through with my dad. Life is short. And it broke my heart to hear her say that and see that because we know that her father recently has passed. And then I see him he's going to be coming up in the next couple of episodes. He filmed with her. And I just, I feel so bad for her because she's going to have to relive this as she goes through these episodes. And then when she gets to the reunion, she's going to have to relive it. And, I just feel for her because, that's the great thing about so much of our lives being, so easily accessible as far as us making videos and taking millions of pictures and things like that. But it also can probably be very heartbreaking when you have to revisit those things while you're still in that process of grieving. So anyway, so it was a fun time, it was all good or whatever. So the ladies end up going out to dinner later on that night. So they're getting dressed and they're getting all, dolled up. That daggone Marisol and Alexia are hilarious. They're in their room trying to pull down the blinds. Now, y'all are in a multi-million-dollar home. What made y'all think that the blinds, like, literally, we know Marisol is probably about 5'2". She couldn't reach the blinds, so she jumps on Alexia's back, and she's trying to grab the blinds, and they're jumping, and it was hilarious, only for Alexia to find that it was battery operated, and it was a switch on the wall that lowered the blinds. What made y'all think that there wouldn't be? Like, I have battery operated blinds, and my house is not a multi-million-dollar dwelling, okay? And I'm thinking to myself, what made y'all not look at the wall or figure it out? But it was fun to watch. It was fun. So the ladies are getting together and they're going to dinner. Lisa's letting the ladies know, that tomorrow, she has her meeting with the perfume people and all the things that are going to be happening. And of course, what ends up happening? We end up having a conversation about Lenny. Listen, have you guys ever been with a friend that went through a bad breakup, and for about 6 months, everything was Lenny? I mean, was that person. And I feel like this friend group has given Lisa a year for everything to be Lenny. And I get it, Lisa. You're going through a lot. This man is putting you through a lot. I get it. I get it. But at a certain point, my love, everybody is sick of hearing it. And Kiki lost it. Like, Kiki ended up just going off about Lenny. And it turned into a whole kerfuffle, right? Where everybody was sort of agreeing with Kiki, but, they still were like, Lisa. So then we have Marisol apologizing to Adriana. And once again, Adriana, why you can't just say thank you? Why you can't just say, I appreciate. She apologized to her for what happened on the bus on their way to the charity basketball game. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Marisol and Alexia did do a little too much. Like, Adriana, I'm sorry. I apologize. Whoa, no, that ain't what I meant to say. Adriana actually owed them the apology because Adriana did too much. Now, did they let the conversation go back and forth? Yeah, they did, right? The conversation went back and forth, but honestly, Adriana, you started that damn argument on the bus. But even if it had been the other way around, why couldn't you just say thank you? But of course, Adriana has to have the conversation, and she wants to explore it further. So then Julia in her confessional says, oh, I'm surprised that Marisol apologized, and it would be really nice, I really appreciate the apology, but how long is it going to last? Because I just don't trust Marisol, and I think that she's just a shit stirrer, and I think it's only a matter of time before she stirs up some more. So then Julia says, well, that's all well and good that you apologize to Adriana and everything, but Marisol, you allow Alexia to take the heat for you a lot. You basically put a battery in Alexia's back, and then you let her be out on the front line, and you step back and you kind of let her take all the hits. So of course Marisol was like, what you talking about? What hits? Who's taking hits? What did I do? So they used the example of last year when Alexia was confronting Adriana about the guy she was dating being married, and how they had pulled the information that had his whole marriage certificate, but they couldn't find a divorce decree. Well, come to find out, Marisol was the one that pulled the paperwork. And when Alexia was out there arguing with Adriana and kind of ended up getting embarrassed, come to find out, Marisol never once stood up and said, hey, this is where I got the information from. Yada, yada, yada. Then they brought up Marisol a couple of years ago when she brought up the information on Dr. Nicole about her being married already and allegedly, basically trying to say she was a hoe. And again, they're trying to make it seem like, basically they're making it about how Marisol starts all the ish and Marisol puts all the stuff out there. Now, to Marisol's credit, she took it. She was like, look. And even Alexia joined in and was like, well, yeah, you do kind of put me out there like that. You do kind of had me out there looking crazy. And it was funny because the whole table was like, what? Did Alexia actually stand up to Marisol? Like, everybody was sort of shocked. It was just like, dun, dun, dun. So we're starting to see the cracks in their friendship, which we sort of was, we've seen a little excuse me, hints here and there about their friendship, their cracks in their friendship or whatever. So then they accused, well, no, they didn't accuse. They said that allegedly there was a private detective following Nicole's fiance, Anthony, around, and they were saying, the rumor was that it was Marisol had paid for the private detective. Now, to be perfectly honest, a whole lot of people at the table believed that it could have been Marisol, right? But Marisol was like, I wouldn't spend my good money on that. Like, I ain't that deep. Like, I'm messy and I like getting receipts and I like people telling me stuff, but I ain't about to spend my own money and put no private detective out there. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I ain't convinced that she wouldn't do it, especially as vested as she was in trying to prove Nicole was this horrible person that first season. Like, I'm not convinced that she wouldn't put somebody out there. Maybe not necessarily paying for a private detective, but certainly paying, like having a friend maybe follow him, or somebody who was a private detective do it for free. I'm not gonna put that past Marisol. I'm just gonna tell y'all the truth. I ain't gonna say Marisol ain't do it. I ain't gonna say that. So then the ladies go back to the house. It's the next day. That's, y'all know that's how dinner ended, child. So the next day, the majority of the house went to go play croquet in these like classic Cadillacs from like the 1950s. While Lisa, Nicole, and was it Adriana, went with Lisa to her meeting. Now, Lisa actually invited Larsa to go, and Larsa said, no, I'd rather go play croquet. Lisa thought it was weird, but she was like, okay, girl. And I said, see, those are the friends you got to worry about, because number one, girl, you know what Lisa's going through. And let's be clear, Lisa, she wants you there for moral support. She calls you her best friend. Whether you think you're her best friend or not, she calls you her best friend. And for you to be like, no, girl, I'd rather go play a game that I've never played before at a country club with a bunch of people I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'd rather do. See, them the friends you got to worry about, because your friends, listen, if your friends can't be there while you winning, I don't know what to tell you. Now, one of the cars broke down, child, while they was on their way to the croquet place. And they ended up having to all ride in one car together. Now, I have read on one of the blogs that allegedly the ladies were not allowed to film inside of actual Palm Beach proper. Because, Palm Beach, they don't want that shenanigans at their establishments. And so it was funny because I heard Marisol, because when the car broke down in the middle of the highway and like stopped traffic and everything, I believe it was Marisol say, no wonder they don't want us filming down here in their city. So I said, oh, well, that sort of confirms that rumor I heard, that they couldn't film, in certain, like they couldn't film inside of actual Miami Beach proper. So we go down to the perfumery and Lisa meets with the chemist. Now, let me say this. Lisa didn't like this, none of the scents. The lady made 3 scents. The one scent was too strong. The other scent was too light. And then the one that was sort of in the middle, it wasn't strong enough. I'm all here for somebody that knows what they want and that knows what they want and can put their finger on it and can hold somebody accountable to it. I'm all here for that. I'm just not that convinced that Lisa is that person. And I hate to say it like that because I know that sounds kind of messed up, but I'm not convinced that Lisa, girl, I'm just not convinced. Now, I just gotta call a thing a thing. I'm not convinced. But, the meeting went the way the meeting was gonna go, child. So the ladies were down to the croquet in all of their white, looking like, swords sticking out like sore thumbs. And once again, another story gets posted about Lisa and Lenny. And basically, Lenny is now petitioning the court to stop Lisa because Lisa is spending way too much money. I think they're calling it financial negligence or some mess that his lawyer found. But they said that Lisa had charged $10,000 to her Instacart account. And they were trying to figure out in 1 month. And they were trying to figure out what in the HE double hockey sticks that Lisa do with $10,000 in Instacart. Now, I know Instacart, you can pick up anything on Instacart. They got all kinds of stuff on Instacart. But at the end of the day, and, like Larsa said, Larsa was like, look, Lenny and his attorneys can't just make numbers up. If they're saying $10,000, they must have the receipt to show $10,000. And all of them were saying that Lisa is going to definitely have to, adjust her spending, start to live within her means, realize that her life as she knows it is just different. She just can't spend money like she used to spend money. Like, it's just, she can't do it. And even though she's trying to get the prenup, get them to not enforce the prenup, even if she's able to do that, at some point the money runs out. And if you're spending like you're spending more than what you have coming in or spending above your means, it doesn't matter how much money that man is giving you every month. I know she's got the 2 young kids, so her child support is going to probably look decent. But if you're looking for like a big alimony payment or even a big lump sum payment, if you're spending beyond your means, it's gone. Like, it's gone. And I know I don't even need to really go any deeper. Like, we all get that. So I don't know what's going on with Lisa, but her friends are concerned, and I don't know how that conversation is going to go. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.